Hey Patrick,
Hey Mark, hi, how are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, I'm kind of sad and kind of happy. Let me explain. Uh, in 3 days, so we record this on the 6th of May. I will go on vacation with my family, like a super big US trip, like 3.5 weeks. So I'm really, really happy for this. And the sad thing is, yeah, 3.5, maybe 4 weeks, no podcast. So yeah, kind of happy, kind of sad, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It got kind of boring over the last couple of weeks. Usually just the same. Wake up, do a workout and stuff, and yeah, like this, like this, like this. Vacation, my friend.
Yeah, something really nice to look forward to. So I'm curious how you will find the US and yeah, what experiences you come back with.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will be back at the end of May. So our next episode will most likely be at the beginning of June, because when I come back here, I need we are flying from Vegas back to Frankfurt, and you get a pretty bad jet lag, and I will get back on Friday. So this is usually our podcast day. So I think it's not a good idea to run a podcast there. But yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Maybe I will knock myself out uh in by on the flight from Vegas to Frankfurt, and yeah, let's see how I will get back, basically.
Okay. Yeah, just conserve your energy
Yeah.
to get restored. Do you plan to read up on crypto while you're there, or do you just have to like plan to have basically disconnected from the internet and stuff?
Yeah. So I try to do the following. So I would like to keep up to date with what is going on, because I just enjoy it. And this is the main question I ask myself: how do I want to structure this holiday? And it came down to the question: okay, what do I enjoy the most right now? And maybe one day I will read, maybe one day I will be totally offline. So it's not like, yeah, I need to do a digital detox for 3 weeks because YouTubers say it's healthy. It's more like, yeah, how do I feel, basically? I will be online some days, and I won't be online for maybe a couple of days. So let's see. So whatever I enjoy and whatever fits the best in the schedule of the day, basically.
Okay, awesome. Yeah,
Oh, cool. Do you want to get into our crypto stuff before
yeah,
we
sure.
bore everyone with my vacation and my
Sure.
first world problems?
Yeah, sure. Sure, Patrick.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we have the 6th of May, so this is the beginning of May, basically, our first episode. And usually we talk about our portfolio at the beginning of the month. Would you like to start, or do you want me to start with my portfolio right now?
I will start. So just to clarify for the listeners, this is our personal portfolio. So this is not the portfolio on the challenge, the Solana part, but this is just our whole portfolio. Um, so for me, I did I tracked it at the end of the month to see how I did compared to the month before, and the results are as follows. The total value of my portfolio dropped 16% month over month. And within this, the distribution changed to increase a little bit more Bitcoin and a little bit less ETH. But we're still talking about, like 1% roughly, so it's not
Mhm.
huge. And also, I increased my stables by about a little over 1%.
And your overall portfolio, you just talked about the relative
Oh,
numbers.
yeah. L- let's maybe you discuss your stuff first, and
Yes.
maybe I can look it up quickly. What it
Okay.
was. I'm sorry, I don't have.
Yeah,
I only have the changes, the deltas.
no worries. Yeah, I can take care, and I can buy you some time. Uh, so my adjustment is a little bit bigger, I would say. So now that I see it, so I'm a pretty big ETH bull, and I think ETH is the number one bet I would like to personally take right now. So I just as a recall, last month I was at 65% ETH, 25% BTC, 8% stables, and 2% DFI. And now it increased to roughly 75% ETH, 13% BTC, 2% DFI, and 10% stables. So yeah, I'm at a point right now where my BTC allocation gets super small. I actually put some BTC on an exchange. If there will be a big dump, maybe in the next couple of days, I want to basically time the bottom in quotes, time the bottom to transition those BTC to ETH. So yeah, I'm trying to get into a little bit more ETH because yesterday when the market went down quite a lot, this was super interesting. BTC sold off more than ETH, and it sold more. It sold off more than other let's say larger coins. And I don't know if this is a good sign for BTC because usually BTC sells off less than other cryptos. So yeah, just to reset it, I'm 75% ETH, 13% BTC, 2% DFI, and 10% stable coins. And yeah, I'm looking to maybe get my BTC exposure to 10%, but then that's it. I want to have some BTC exposure just as a if the world goes to zero and if ETH does not execute, this is a buffer for my life basically. So this is not a bullish bet on a price surge. It's more like a safety net for my personal life. And yeah, it's weird to say that to have BTC as a buffer for your personal life if everything else goes to shit. But yeah, I think that's the use case of BTC, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Uh, um, yeah, it's pretty interesting that yeah, you use Bitcoin as a buffer, but you make the buffer smaller basically.
Mm,
So um, yeah, I guess to really benefit from Bitcoin buffering your portfolio, it would have to go up a lot basically, if you see
yeah,
what I
for
mean.
sure.
So that's the downside. But at least I don't think it will go. Well, it can go down a whole lot more, but
Mm,
it does buffer your portfolio in some ways. But
yeah.
yeah, I would say almost if you use it as a buffer instead of a hedge, then I would say you may as well try stables because I think stables are a better buffer than Bitcoin. I
Yeah,
think Bitcoin is
I
more like a
I
hedge.
meant I meant li like a hedge. Maybe it's the wrong word, buffer. It's like if everything goes to zero, yeah, stablecoins. Your argument does make sense, but yeah, I'm not
Hmm.
bullish on USD or Euro. The other day, you told me, Patrick, get out of Euro as much as you can. Don't hold any euros. So yeah, I'm trying to sell all my euros basically into other stuff. So yeah, I know what you mean. I mean it more like I
Hmm.
want to have risk exposure, but BTC is more like a yeah
Yeah,
the
I see.
the boring bet basically.
Okay. Thank you for buying me time to look it up. So yeah, basically as of the end of the month, I was at 54% ILV, 35% Bitcoin, 9% ETH, 2% stablecoins. And
Mm,
right now, I'm bearish on everything um, except stables. So
yeah.
yeah, I think I will reduce my allocation in most of these things and increase my stable coin allocation.
Mm,
And also, I'm thinking about spending outside of crypto again. So um, I'm thinking maybe my longer term bullishness of crypto has decreased a little bit,
mm,
and I'm starting to now think maybe certain certain companies or commodities in the energy sector or in the commodity sector can be
mm,
interesting for the next couple of years. Um, yeah, so I'm not super bullish at the moment, but
mm,
maybe just it's because I've been listening to some bearish podcasts. Maybe that's it. But I also
mm,
listen to some Jeff Dorman Jeff Dorman and other people who are bulls. But yeah, overall, I'm still a little bit pessimistic at the moment.
mm. Yeah, let us know actually when you do stuff like this. I would be personally interested, and I think other people would be interested as well. But yeah, for now I can't comment much on this, and
Hmm.
yeah, just let us know basically if you
Yeah,
try to if you decide to yeah go for the let's say more traditional kind of investing.
yeah, I can still include it in the in the portfolio in the podcast. Just
Yeah,
like instead of Bitcoin, I will say 10% this.
yeah,
We can still do that. So yeah, no worries.
yeah, cool. Yeah, do you want to transition to our next topic? Remarkable things that happened.
Sure, sure.
Okay, okay. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I'll start. So
Okay.
I had a tweet that I had stored the URL of, and
Mm-hmm.
this morning when I was preparing for the podcast, I clicked on the tweet URL, and it turns out that the whole account has been deleted or something, or
Oh,
I've been
okay.
blocked, either one of these. But let's hope the account was deleted because I don't think I said anything. I was just I
Mm-hmm.
just read the post. Um, so yeah, I have a couple of other things that are also remarkable. First of all, something that I saw this morning, and that is that uh, Panama changed their crypto law, or at least they're planning to do it. But the legislation has passed 40 to 0 votes, so it will probably be implemented. And what
Oh,
they
okay.
basically are doing is that they treat crypto and basically any kind of internet, source assets as something outside of Panama's territorial taxation system. So um, anything that basically that comes from the internet, like crypto, that is like native to the internet,
Mm.
um, won't get any taxes on capital gains or anything
Mm.
like this. So um, yeah, it's I think it's just quite interesting because um, among the things that I've been reading is that I think that the American continent, so the whole continent from stretching from Canada to Southern America, I
Mm.
think it will be the dominant continent in the next
Yeah, seems
20
like it, right?
years, and maybe the Eurasian continent
Oh.
that we're on maybe in a little bit of a decline. So yeah, it just seems yeah, it just seems like I need to get I need to move over to the American continent. I think it's if you want to be well positioned for
Mhm.
the future. And Panama seems, the law doesn't hurt. But to be honest, I would need to look more into Panama because there's also probably a lot of negatives. But yeah, I
Mm.
thought it was just interesting and important. So if other countries adopt a similar legislature, that is
Mm.
quite bullish for crypto.
They were actually talking about it like a week ago that they want to make it legal tender, but then they pedaled back on that and they
Yeah.
decided against that. Do you have any um,
Yes.
knowledge about this?
Yeah. Um, so basically, I didn't know this, but in Panama, it is part of the how do you say it, like the national law, but there's a there's a word for it. I forget what it means, but like the
Mhm.
base law of a country. Like
Mhm.
well, anyway, I can't think of the word.
I can't help you with this, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, yeah, it's their constitutional, maybe the constitution. So
Mhm.
their constitution is that they cannot have a national currency.
They
Um,
can't have a
they
national
can't have.
currency.
Yeah, it's a
Wow,
really
that's
weird
weird.
constitution. Yeah, exactly. But this is why they don't have an official. Apparently, I didn't know that either. But they adopt the dollar as their currency, but they don't have an official currency, according to the article at least. And this is why they couldn't make Bitcoin a legal tender because a legal tender means having your own national currency, basically.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah,
And
it's weird. So they said
what's the national currency? Like dollars?
dollars.
Oh, okay.
And so this is why they said we wanted to do it, but we would have to change our constitution, and
It's so weird.
that's hard.
Mm.
So yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
anyway, I thought that was pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
I got some other points that I would like to discuss. I
Mhm.
saw
Yeah, go ahead.
an interesting tweet from Tushar Jain, and he is one of the co-founders of Multicoin. And his tweet was basically the market is hugely underestimating how tough it will be for protocols to capture value in Web3. Permissionless open source smart contracts exist in perfect competition. All rent extraction will be forked or out or competed away by more efficient protocols. Um, so yeah, I thought that was a pretty interesting tweet. So basically, he's saying that it is really hard to get a moat in Web3 as a
Mm.
protocol because you can you can fork it or compete it away by something more efficient.
Mm.
And I kind of agree with it to a large extent. And in the thread, there are some people who come up with counterpoints, such as, for instance, Anatoly. He says like you can't fork the content or the social graph.
Anatoly, the one from Solana?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
okay.
He replied to that, but Tushar also disputes that. So he says that if the social graph is on chain, why can't it be forked? And yeah, I guess you could get it to your argument like, yeah, what if you just fork Twitter, but you also fork all the Twitter posts of the whole history, right?
Mm.
Yeah, there are arguments why this is why this would or wouldn't work basically. But he
Mm.
is saying then, I think most protocols will be selling to algos and not to people. An algo doesn't care whether it's routing liquidity to a brand name DEX or a fork. And yeah, I thought that tweet also just blew my mind. So he's basically saying there will be no brand loyalty in the future for
Mm.
the majority of transactions because those won't be done by humans. So
Mm,
yeah, I thought that was very interesting, especially when you think of a lot of protocols. Uh, why couldn't they be forked by like a Lidl or an Aldi, like someone who does like a cheaper, basically, who does the same
mm,
but for less, and
mm,
it can lead to some kind of downward cascade, right? Where you have
mm,
a war on cost that goes down to almost nothing. Y- Yeah, so I thought that was just an interesting tweet.
mm,
Uh, and also in that chain, in that tweet chain, uh, they were also commenting on OpenSea, right? Because they have kind of a strong mode right now. And he is saying that he expects OpenSea not to be able to retain their market position as the dominant NFT marketplace once Yuga Labs launches their own NFT marketplace and their own chain.
mm,
Because Yuga Labs is the majority of the OpenSea trading volume. So yeah, I thought that the whole thread was very interesting, like it contained a
mm,
couple of interesting thoughts. So yeah, what do you think about these kind of thoughts? Because we were planning to make an auto compounder, but the fees that we charge could also be arbitraged away or like
mm.
competed away by people who can do it more efficiently, like maybe in a low income country or something else.
Yeah, I'm not into this kind of thinking. I think it's a thinking that people enjoy to talk about philosophical stuff, but I'm more like a hands-on what makes the most sense right now, and maybe with a time frame of let's say 1 or 2 years, and maybe I will regret it. But this is basically yeah how I think about building companies and how I think about taking my professional bets. I think whenever you say things like yeah, in the long run and talk about things without a time horizon, it's just I I think it's interesting, but I have no opinion about it. It's whenever you listen to Balaji, for example, and this reminds me a lot about the stuff that Balaji talks about. Like everything will be decentralized, everything will be permissionless, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make out of it. Maybe in 100 years, maybe in 10 years, maybe never, maybe in 500 years. I just don't have a big opinion about it, and yeah, so um, I look more like 1 year ahead, and then I make my guesses. So just to make it more concrete, I think OpenSea has a problem with Yuga Labs, what they're doing, and the problem will be there, absolutely. They will most likely do some vampire attacks to OpenSea because OpenSea is going down more the road like, okay, we do an IPO, and Yuga Labs is more like the decentralized one. But I have no idea if this is just a bump in the road for OpenSea or they will get challenged in a big way. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't have a big opinion
Hmm.
about the story.
Okay, yeah, no worries, no worries. Um, okay, and then the third remarkable content I saw was a guy called Joel John, and he does analytics where he compares different chains with each other,
Hmm.
and he's been doing that for a long time. Um, and he recently had a tweet where he was playing around with Nansen data, and Nansen, for those who don't know, is a data provider for crypto where you can read about yeah, on-chain metrics basically.
Hmm.
And he was comparing all the different chains. And yeah, it is a thread with like 20 bar charts. So yeah, I really love these kind of threads, but they may be poorly communicable over podcast. So I will just link
Hmm.
the thread in the show notes. But just some of the takeaways that I found very interesting. And that is that Optimism and Arbitrum are still extremely tiny in terms of their number of wallets, number of transactions, everything. They're tiny. They're like a fraction of a fraction of Polygon or something, or yeah, and even
Are
smaller
you
compared to
sure?
Solana.
From when is this a snapshot taken? Do you know this?
April 29th is the tweet. And
Mm,
then and
yeah.
they, and they look at the last 30 days and also at total history and also at the last day or something compared to the last 30 days.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, basically, so that was one of my takeaways. They're relatively tiny, and if you look at these kind of, um, yeah, these kind of metrics. If you look at TVL, it
mm,
may be a different story metric, but this is like more about the
mm,
usage. Yeah? So, and also my other takeaway, what I thought was interesting, is that he looks at one of the things that he looks at is the most popular app or the most popular, basically contract or something for each chain. So for Solana, it is Orca. For BNB, it is PancakeSwap, etc. And
Mhm.
for ETH, what was surprising that it was Coinbase. So actually, there's
Coinbase.
more people withdrawing from ETH to Coinbase than people making a Uniswap swap on ETH.
Wow.
So that was also pretty interesting. So all the other ones, they're all DEXs and stuff. And Ethereum was the only one that had a centralized exchange as their number one the
Hmm.
number one most used application.
Yeah,
So yeah,
bullish ETH.
yeah, or bearish ETH. I don't know, depending what they do with that
Mhm.
withdrawn ETH. Um,
Yeah.
and finally, maybe to end off with something a little bit bullish, that he was already doing these kind of studies in 2019, and then the average centralized app was seeing around 40K users a month. And
Mm,
right now, he says it's not unheard of to see 4 to 5 million wallets interacting.
mm,
So that's 100x growth in 3 years.
mm.
So yeah, I will link the thread in the show notes so you can check out
Yeah, cool data
at
points.
your leisure.
Yeah, thank you. Cool data points.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Welcome.
Um, just one quick note,
Hmm.
because we are running a little bit on time about the Coinbase stuff.
Hmm.
Coinbase is a really, really big Ethereum bull, and if you go back into the history and take a look at the personal holdings of Brian, the CEO of Coinbase, he is super, super heavy on Ethereum. So yeah, uh, bullish Ethereum because Coinbase is bullish on Ethereum, and yeah, just as a small comment, this is what I think is pretty interesting.
Okay, interesting. Because didn't they start out as a Bitcoin shop very early on, Coinbase?
I don't know. I just know this fact that
Okay.
they were pretty big on Ethereum.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What about your remarkable topics?
Yeah, I have three topics, and I will go through them rather quickly because I would like to talk about the extending stuff a little bit longer. So I will just point out three remarkable things, and I will just, like I said, go through them really quickly. So the first one is about a week ago, Solana went down for 7 hours, and I would just like to give our listeners a quick explanation what happened. So there is this thing on Solana which is called the Candy Machine. And the Candy Machine is a tool to mint NFTs. And Solana went down for the second time this year, I guess. Oh no, we have May. I don't know, but yeah, I forgot about it. But Solana went down for 14 hours a couple of months ago, and this was the second time when it basically went down. And yeah, now they are trying to look into prohibiting NFT mints. So yeah, I don't know about this, but yeah, as long as it solves some issues, they have prohibited for a couple of weeks or months, guys. But yeah, I think it's not a good sign for the decentralization space that some people can prohibit things. But I understand it from a business point of view. So the first one is basically Solana went down due to too much usage with the candy machine. The second one is kind of related because Ethereum gas fees had actually one of the absolute record days. And the record days was roughly the same time when Solana went down, which is quite interesting. And the gas fees spiked a lot. And this was due to the Bored Apes other side virtual land sale. Uh, I won't go into much detail right now, but they burned gas, and this is what you usually do when you use a chain. And right now, just as a small reference point, the gas prices are right now at roughly 30 Gwei. And when the mint happened, do you want to take a guess, Mark, on the number to which the gas prices spiked?
Um, 8,000.
Roughly, it was 4,500.
Okay.
So yeah, and with 4,500 Gwei, yeah, ETH will be a super deflationary, like double-digit percentage each year, but this is not what it's what it will be. Um, they burned they burned 60,000 ETH, and this is a lot. So 60,000 ETH. Just let's multiply it by roughly 3K. So they burned roughly $180 million in a couple of minutes. Yeah, so I guess a nice EIP 15559, but not that nice that yeah, this is the limitation of Ethereum, but this will be taken hopefully care of in the longer term. And then the third point, I will make it super quick, is that another pretty interesting thing happened, that there was some big Phantom liquidation. So there's this chain which is called Phantom, and Phantom has the native token FTM, and there was this big whale, and there is still this big whale, and he basically borrowed a lot of stable coins, and he collateralized his FTM on Scream, and when FTM goes down, he runs the risk of getting liquidated. And he couldn't repay his loan because he used this stablecoin to buy Solid and Deos, which are some other tokens. Solid decks, but yada yada yada. Too complicated topic right now. So basically, he got liquidated, and the prices dropped like, so the FTM price went down like 30% within 2 days. So yeah, super bearish in my point of view for the Phantom chain. And yeah, just some remarkable things. So Solana went down. Um, while being down, Ethereum's gas spiked up like crazy, and also simultaneously this big liquidation happened on Phantom. So yeah, this were quite interesting news, I guess, from this week. Do you have any comment about any of those topics?
Um, sure. What do you prefer? That the chain goes down or that only rich people can get transactions through?
Um, what do I prefer? What do I prefer? It depends on what's actually happening. I can't give you an answer. Yeah, I don't have a preference right now. I don't know. I see arguments for and against it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is kind of like a capitalism versus socialism, perspective. So in this case, Solana has a socialism perspective where things are cheap, everyone can afford it. Even if you're from a low income country, you can afford a transaction. But then again, if it goes down for everyone. So everyone is equally screwed.
Mm,
Whereas on Ethereum, um, yeah, it doesn't go down, which is very nice, of course. Which means if you really need to get out or if you need to do something, you can always do it. Although you're probably priced out, so most people are priced out, and only the really wealthy people or the whales can do it. So yeah, there's upsides and downsides to both of them. I just thought it was interesting.
mm,
But yeah, yeah. But the irony is kind of that you would kind of expect the opposite to work. Like you would expect Solana to have the capitalistic mechanism
yeah,
and
sure.
Ethereum to have the socialistic mechanism. But
Mm,
but other than that, I can see upsides and downsides for both.
yeah, funny that you bring it up. I never thought about this in this way. It's more like the opposite. Yeah, interesting point. Okay, for the other topics, any comments, or do you want to go to exciting things?
Um, let's go to exciting things.
Okay, do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
Yeah, sure. For me, it's very short. There's not much I'm excited about right now
Mm,
when it comes to crypto. So the only thing that I'm curious about, rather maybe not curious is the better word than excited. I'm just curious to see how it will play out, and that is that Illuvium has a land sale coming June 2nd.
mm.
That has been confirmed.
June
So
2nd, it's announced. Ah,
yeah, it
okay,
has been
nice.
announced. So that is in less than 4 weeks. So then
Ooh, exciting.
yeah, I'm curious to see. I won't be participating, but I will be curious to see how much revenue it will generate, how much hype it will generate, etc. And especially the tier 5 plots that have the stadium rights. I want to
Mm,
see if any big VCs or anything scoop these up, and if so, for how much. So yeah, this is just pretty something I'm reasonably excited about. But for the rest, I'm not excited about anything in crypto.
mm,
But yeah, I'm not. Yeah, how do you say it? Yeah, I'm just stable basically.
mm. Yeah, I think this is totally so first of all, I think it's awesome that they finally announced the land sale, so congrats, and I'm really looking forward to it as well, because you have some pretty big backs, and fingers crossed, my friend, that this will get run in a way where everyone hopes, and that this will go and run smoothly. So yeah, nice. And yeah, on the comment that you made that you're more stale right now, I think that's common, and so I've been in crypto for 4.5 years by now. Roughly my fifth birthday is coming up. And when I recall my crypto journey, at the beginning I was super excited. I was like, yeah, take all my money and we go to the moon, and I'm super excited to learn everything. But then 2018 and 2019 happened, and it was just like, yeah, live your life. The summer is coming up. Prices will what prices will do, and sooner or later, everything will be hyped again. So it's just like I think a really good idea actually to don't try to force yourself into being excited. Don't try to force yourself into being super interested. Take your time, relax, and sooner or later the market will be more exciting, most likely, and will be more interesting. And then you conserve your energy, so don't try to force it. Basically, is my TLDR on this comment.
Hmm. Cool.
Okie dokie.
What excites you, Patrick?
On that note, I'm excited, my friend. I'm
Okay.
excited about two things, and I'm truly excited for this.
Let me guess
So
one of
the,
them.
yeah,
Is it the
go
ETH
ahead.
2.0?
Yeah. Then I'm excited about multiple things. So, but ETH 2.0, it's more like, yeah, I'm excited for it, but it's yeah, whenever it will come. And if it comes in July, August, September, October, November, December, 2023, 2024, whatever, I'm just like I said, I don't feel the urge. So yeah, I'm excited, but
Hmm.
yeah, I'm not that super excited right now.
Okay.
I'm excited on two topics actually. On three, the first one is the vacation. So yeah, like I said, I will go on a trip with my family, and our episode will be most likely at the 3rd of June. So just as a quick reminder, and then I'm excited about and I would like to talk about it for a couple of minutes. Two topics. The first one is so I do like the Bankless guys a lot, like I mentioned a couple of times, and I do like the Daily Way Anthony Sassano a lot. You can argue for them or against them, whatever, but it's just I kind of resonate with them. They are cool guys. They are educational. They are funny. They bring the nice mix of content and content and fun. Not fun. How do you
Like
call it?
entertainment, educate.
Entertainment, exactly. Thank you. So content is usually either educational or entertaining, and they strike the balance super good. Like, and also the guys of Blockworks, Santiago and Jason. So they are and this is what I would like to talk about for a minute. They launched their conference, which is called Permissionless Conference in Palm Beach, Florida. Have you ever heard about it?
Yeah, for sure. Since I also listen to Empire and most of the Blockworks
Mm.
podcast, and I know they have an NFT that is made by a Pixar artist, and I've seen
Mm.
NFTs. They look kind of cool.
Yeah. Um, I just like the vibe of basically those communities like the Blockworks Empire guys, the Daily Grey, Bankless, and so I got reminded about this conference over and over and over and over again, but I don't want to participate because yeah, I'm on I'm in the US actually, and this happens from the 17th to the 19th of May, but it's in Florida, and I'm not in Florida. I'm more like on the Las Vegas side of things. It's not that far away, but yeah, I'm there with my family, so I won't drive there. I think that they did a pretty amazing job actually to put together this conference, and I will encourage everyone to check it out. And I will hope and I will pray and I will cross my fingers that they will put their content online because they have some amazing speakers. Have you checked out their speakers, Mark?
Um, I've heard about them when they're talking about it on podcast. I know that
Hmm.
Mark Yusko is probably, yeah, he's speaking, I think. And for the rest, there's a lot of people in ETH that yeah, I heard the name of, but I don't know who they are. So ETH
Hmm.
community people.
Yeah, I think they nailed it on the ETH community part, but they also nailed it on other ecosystems as well. And this is why I'm impressed. So, for example, some East people that you mentioned, Justin Drake will be there, a really big and nice known name in the Ethereum researcher ecosystem. Santiago will be there, obviously. Kane will be there. So,
Hmm.
the ETH bull, Kane Warwick,
And Do
and
Kwon will be
also,
there as well.
yeah, exactly. Do Kwon will be there as well, of the Terra ecosystem. Chris Dixon will be there from A16Z, and your favorite CO will be also there, Mark. I don't actually know if this is your favorite CO, but do you want to take a guess who I mean?
Um, my favorite CEO. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess the guys from Albridge, they were
Uh,
in Salt. Um,
Interesting that you think of someone different. Interesting.
uh, the Kieran Warwick, but I guess he's not there. So
Ah,
yeah,
you
uh,
nailed it. Kieran
Kieran
will be
Warwick.
there.
Oh, Kieran is
Yeah,
going to be there. Oh
yeah,
wow, I didn't know
exactly.
that he would be there. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
So they have like a list of speakers and like 100 or so. I'm not kidding. You need to scroll down and down and down and down. Down. Hasib will be there, I guess, and a lot of people. So I hope that they put out the content because I think this will be super interesting to hear those people speak to get some new names on our radar. So yeah, just a quick shout out to Permissionless. I'm looking forward to your content and maybe we will be there next year. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Okay, dokie. I have one other topic. Or would you like to comment on this a little bit?
I have no, yeah, just please continue.
Okay. Then the next thing which excites me and please listen up, my dear airdrop hunter followers, and Mark you as well. Okay.
Sure.
I'm about to share some alpha. And this is not that hidden alpha. It's more like an obvious alpha. If you are somewhat in the Ethereum ecosystem and if you are somewhat looking to get some nice airdrops. And yeah, there is nothing guaranteed, but I'm a pretty experienced airdrop hunter, I would say. And 95% of the signals I'm seeing are in the area that you need in quotes participate, otherwise you will regret it later on in quotes.
Okay.
So I'm talking about the Arbitrum Odyssey. Have you ever heard about it?
Odyssey? Like you mean
Odyssey, exactly.
Odyssey? You mean
Yeah,
like
the
a
Odyssey,
journey, like a
exactly.
Odyssey?
Yeah, the Arbitrum Odyssey.
Okay, okay.
Have you ever heard about it?
No, no.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, let me explain what it is. So, as we talked about last week, Optimism launched the token, right?
Yeah.
And then yesterday evening, Hop Bridge announced the token. A couple of weeks ago, Element Finance launched the token. So I think the airdrop game is back on. And the Arbitrum Odyssey is basically, I will give you a quick TLDR, but we will put it in the show notes as well. Um, Obviously, you can interact with Arbitrum right now, and you can speculate on that they take a snapshot right now, and that you will get incentivized, and that you will get rewarded for doing interactions right now on the Arbitrum chain. But they will launch their Arbitrum Odyssey, and this is a 2 month long initiative, and it works like this. So they had 14 pools, and actually they asked the community on what protocols would you like to have in those pools. They had 4 choices in every single pool. So 56 protocols, you can vote it on them and try to get them into those 14 pools.
Okay, so
Over those,
it's like the World Cup. Like you have the
yeah,
pools of four.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, okay.
And so every week for 7 weeks, 2 projects will be put in the spotlight. So let's give you an example. The first week will be all about bridging. So on the first week, they will incentivize users to bridge over. And I think they already decided on the protocols, who will be in there for the first week. I don't have it open right now, but it basically works like this. You have 1 week to interact with the protocol, and they will give out tasks. And if you achieve this task, you will get an NFT. And now the speculation begins. Um, they will actually issue roughly 17 NFTs, and now you can say, wow, why 17? 7 weeks times 2 tasks makes 40 NFTs. Yeah, it's a little bit more complicated. They give out a bonus NFT at the end, and there might be an Easter egg in there because the math doesn't add up, even if you take the bonus NFT into consideration. But the super TLDR is basically the following. If you want to speculate on an airdrop from from Arbitrum, I think the likelihood that they will use this 7 week initiative to bring more awareness to the Arbitrum chain and to bring interactions on it, and that you will get an NFT at the end, there might be a reward coming up for an Arbi token later on for those NFTs. So I personally will try to get my hands on those NFTs by not buying them, by actually making the transactions and minting the NFTs later on. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's super cool that there is a 7 week initiative. You can do your task, and it's just a small cool thing that I'm looking forward to week after week and maybe day after day, depending on the task. It's like a gamification of airdrop hunting, which I which I like, and it also helps you to learn a lot about protocols. The best way to learn about protocols is actually to use them, because then you ask the question, okay, what can I even do here? How does the protocol work? And then you will jump into the Discord, you will jump into the documents, you will educate yourself, you will make some mistakes, but that's actually the best way to go about learning from my personal experience. So yeah, we put it in the show notes. I think this is super cool and pretty interesting, like a gamified version of airdrop hunting. And yeah, what do you think about it? Any comments?
Yeah, I have a lot of questions about this.
Yeah, sure.
First of all, thank you for letting me know because I totally, I totally am in a bubble, I guess, where I don't,
Mhm.
yeah, read about this news. Um, First of all, when will it start? Does it start this week already, the first journey with the two
Mhm.
weeklies?
So the voting happened 3 weeks ago,
Hmm.
and when the voting happened, they said it will launch in mid-May.
Okay, okay.
And
So,
since then, they had the voting, which was live on Twitch, and they had like multiple tens of thousands of votes. But since then, it got quiet. So
okay.
mid-May is still on the radar.
Okay, cool. So then I'm not too late yet. My other question is, how much are transactions on an Arbitrum? Aren't they like multiple bucks and you have to do
No,
approvals and all these kind of things?
no, no, no. Actually, let me rephrase my no, no, no into it depends. Um, because let me give you a quick explainer. I think this is this is a better way in comparison to just say 10 cents or a dollar. So actually, how much do I want to go into detail? I will keep it super brief. Arbitrum settles his call data on Ethereum,
Hmm.
and this basically means that it uses Ethereum as the security chain. And when the gas prices on Ethereum are super high, the fees on Arbitrum will be higher as well. Usually, the fees right now on Arbitrum are roughly 10 to 30 cents per transactions. But if there will be Yuga mint and the gas prices go to 4K, yeah, Arbitrum will be expensive, my friend. Um, but this is in the short term, so there
Okay.
is still this um, link between Ethereum mainnet fees and Arbitrum fees, but there's also this EIP coming up, like EIP 448, whatever. I'm always blanking on those fours and eights, and it will reduce the cost of those chains by 10x, and they are looking to implement it right now. So I really think you're asking an important question. But if I also would like to add that if your portfolio is like 4 digits, take the risk. No, no, no financial advice, but please
Okay.
don't try to save on 10 or 20 cents if you are missing out on the Arbitrum token airdrop.
Okay. So
I
you,
think
you
I
think
think this will be,
like you think doing all these interactions will be net plus EV, even if you
for
take into
me, yeah,
consideration the gas cost.
yeah. So it's so EV questions are always based on imperfect knowledge. So I don't have
Hmm.
imperfect information. But for me personally, I think this is a huge plus EV bet, huge plus EV. And if you miss out on it, I think yeah,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
you will kind of regret it later on.
Okay, I think it's a really interesting thing what they do. Basically, if I can compare to World of Warcraft terms, they give you two weekly quests
Mm,
for several weeks,
yeah,
and you
exactly.
can farm reputation with the Arbitrum faction. And
Yeah,
basically, they will do airdrops at the end
yeah,
based on
exactly. Yeah,
how exalted you are with
yeah,
Arbitrum.
exactly.
So,
And then you get your mount at the end, but you get it for free, and you don't have to buy it for 700 gold.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think the best way to play it is to do all these things, and then right before they give the airdrop, to sell your NFTs and to sell the room to how do you call it? Sell the rumor by the news. How do you say it? Sell the
Get the
news
news
by
by
the
the rumor.
fact. Sell the news by the fact or something. So basically,
Yeah.
to say NFTs right before the Arbitrum airdrop, because I think since they have announced it so clearly, people will try to Sybil attack this with like a million wallets and stuff. So
Mm,
I wonder if the Arbitrum airdrop will be as good as the hype about it will be. But
mm,
this is definitely a great way to build up the hype
mm,
and to get people to get used to using Arbitrum. So
mm,
I think it's a really awesome, yeah, really awesome thing that they're doing.
mm. Yeah. One last note on this. You said a Sybil attacks, and just a small comment on this. I think this is a huge issue, and just one small data point. So actually, yesterday the Hop airdrop got out. and they put out this blog post, and roughly 10,000 addresses will get the hop airdrop or something along those lines. I bring it up because actually they at first they had like 50,000 addresses, and then they condensed it to 10,000 because they cut out 40,000 Sybil attacks. And then they are doing actually a super interesting thing. They basically have this bounty phase going on for the next 2 weeks. And if you spot a Sybil attack and if you report a Sybil attack, you will get rewarded as a reporter or whatever the right framing is. And also the Sybil attacker will get deducted. So yeah, so protocols are getting more and more advanced in those kind of bot attacks.
Yeah, I actually read that, and I think it is very interesting. I think it is kind of concerning as well, as you're basically paying people to snitch on each other, but at the same time, I think it's also kind of an interesting mechanic. So
Mm.
I'm curious to see how it will play out. And are the Arbitrum friends? Are they guys? Are the Arbitrum folks? Are they friends with the Hope folks? So do you think they will
I
adopt
don't
something
know.
similar, or do you are you not
I
sure?
don't know.
Okay, okay,
I don't know who is friend with whom, and then
okay.
I just think that
Mhm.
Hop did it because they wanna decrease the shitstorm which goes on by every single airdrop, and they wanna basically I I I I, I I think they asked themselves the question, if we make a mistake by cutting out people or by letting too much in, how can we make sure that we most likely are not the guys who to blame fully, so they put the burden on the community basically.
I see. Cool.
Okay, dokie. In regards to time, do you want to go to our portfolio challenge?
Sure.
Okay, dokie. Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So yeah,
I'm in stables.
I've been in stables the whole the whole time, and I did actually really well this week, if I may say so. And that was because I have a lot in Solent, and every third of the month you can harvest your Solent rewards. So basically,
Mm,
that is the main explanation why I got a bump in my returns. So I went from roughly $800 to roughly 810 bucks. So I gained $10 in a week, which isn't bad when you consider that my base was $800. And with this, I outperformed. I outperformed Solana, of course, because it dropped by 13%, and also my Sol value in terms of in Sol terms, I think it is at an all-time high at 9.5
mm,
Sol. So I went from 5 to 9.5, which sounds really awesome, but then in dollar terms, I'm still way down. So yeah, it's still not awesome, but
mm,
just incredible how poorly things have performed. Yeah,
mm. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I want to say congrats, but
yeah.
good job, I guess, is a better framing. Um, do you have any idea on what the sold price was when we started this? Was it like 250? Was it like 230?
Um, I can. I'm not sure, but it was like probably around 100. It was 200 roughly, a little bit above 200, 230 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, impressive. So you lost like $190 while Solana went down like let me make a quick calculation. Solana went down like 60%, and yeah, so you lost like 20 when Solana lost like 60, so good job, my friend.
Yeah, well,
Um
I would have been better just swapping it at day one though, but yeah, of
yeah,
course, you can't win them all,
yeah,
I guess.
hindsight 2020,
Yeah,
right?
hindsight 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could always you could also argue that you have shorted it like 20x, so yeah, or
Yeah.
100x, whatever.
Yeah.
Um so I think you're doing a good job. For me, it's like I'm at $423, so I lost like $50. So I'm down almost exactly what Solana went down. So I think yeah, a nice job. Me not. uh, so I'm basically risk on all the time, and I'm speculating on airdrops. The funny thing is that yeah, I'm actually super on spot. We started with 5 Solana. And do you want to take a guess on how much Solana I have right now in Solana terms, basically?
Well, to be honest, I can see it right in front of me, so
Ah, okay.
it's not a guess anymore, but it's relatively similar to where you started.
Yeah, yeah, I'm at 4.97, so total wash. Uh, yeah, total waste of time in regards to making money. But I'm hopeful for those protocols where I'm in that they will launch their airdrop sooner or later, and then I might get a big boost, or I won't. Let's see. So yeah, I'm still in Katana, Chess Finance, and Friction. I'm still risk on because I'm the hodler. I'm not a trader. I'm a hodler, and I want to be long-term optimistic, and I want to be long-term exposed. I don't need the money right now. I don't want to trade, and this is where I think where we differ a little bit. I think you can outperform me. Um, the question you're basically having in front of you is, yeah, when do I want to get more risk on?
Yep.
And do you have a do you have a rough answer to this, or is it too big of a question that you can't answer it?
Yeah, I can't predict the future, but I don't see myself getting risk on for at least the next 2 to 3 months.
Mm. Okay, that's a fair answer. That's a fair answer. Okie dokie. Yeah. I think that's it. Do you want to wrap it up?
Yes.
Okie dokie, friends, guys, girls, madams, misses, monsieurs, folks. uh, I think Mark will be there for the next couple of weeks in the Discord. Jump in if you have some questions, especially if you're interested about Solana development. I think Mark does a deep dive right now. I will be most likely gone for the next couple of weeks. I will be on Discord, like I said, a couple of times. Our next episode will be at the beginning of June, most likely. Stay safe. Don't get liquidated. Don't do dumb shit. Just yeah, stay in the market. Stay interested, and yeah, see you guys in a healthy and happy manner in a couple of weeks. Bye bye.
Bye bye.